Team Synergy, you can make your presentation now.
Well, good morning, gentlemen. In our endeavor to introduce a savings account from the Sampath Bank to the newly liberated eastern region, we initially did a lot of extensive research in order to find out about our customers, what they really wanted and how they perceived Sampath Bank, and also our competitors as to how they were doing in the region. We identified that there was a huge potential because our competitors were not that good in the eastern region. So we came up with the product Sampath Mudaraba. So we used Sampath core brand, which is highly accepted in the eastern region, to win the hearts of the Muslim region. And Mudaraba is the concept behind the Arabic term behind our concept. So that's again well believed by the Muslim region. And initially we identified our target audience, and what we came across through our research was that there were wealthy people in the region as well as people who were in need of money to start up their own ventures. So what our basic concept was to act as a bridge between those wealthy people and the people in need of cash, and act as an agent and put them together. So we introduced the fixed deposit account, and we went with the tagline, your land, your future, because Eastern region wanted a lot of investments coming in because it has a good potential to develop, and it's for the future of the Muslim people. Muslim people believe in doing something for their own communities. So they strongly believe in that our people concept. So we basically hit on that concept. Selina?
Thank you. So the research that we undertook, primarily, we didn't know anything about Sharia banking, so we did in-depth research about what that consisted of. We understood the concepts of Madaraba and profit sharing, whereby the investor will invest, for example, 100 rupees, and that will be put into a business, and the profits will be shared between the bank, and the investor. We also consulted the Deputy Director of the Muslim Religious and Cultural Affairs Department. He guided us towards, gave us a kind of overview of Islamic banking currently, what happens in Muslim banks, what's happening in the other commercial banks here, and he also gave us some insight into the roots of the philosophy in the Quran. We spoke to local Muslims, we differentiated the difference between the rules and what the people actually want and need and other people's perceptions to see what they were really asking for. We did that both here in Colombo, and we spoke to people on the phone and people who we knew from the eastern provinces. We also had the opportunity to meet the bank manager of Muslim Commercial Bank, who gave us great insight further into Islamic banking and gave us a few pointers in the right direction.
So we obviously did a lot of religious research, and we realised that interest is forbidden. So the only way that Muslims will accept money if it's ethically sourced. So they believe in profit from trade rather than interest from unknown sources. So basically, if they don't know where the money comes from, it could be dirty money, and they don't know where that's come from. We also found out that Muslims really they want a risk in their investment. They don't just want money coming in. They don't want a fixed income. They want risk. They want the potential to make even better than a fixed income. And they also believe that wealth should be distributed equally. So Muslims like to help other Muslims and help, the less wealthy. So we found that also in our religious research.
And we wanted really to be transparent and ethical in doing our business. So what we did was we told our customers about the loss scenario as well. So in case of loss, following the special investment deposit scheme in Islamic banking, if the business is unsuccessful, the investor will incur a loss, which is the risk factor when investing. So Muslims like this risk factor to be in their business, so we went with that concept. And the bank will incur no loss, and business will incur loss of profits. So in certain years, they might not have profits, so that's a loss for the business.
So in conclusion, we focused on identifying the needs of what the Muslims in the eastern province of Sri Lanka really needed, and brought that into our concept.
we compared with our competition and we found out that we have a massive opportunity in the Eastern region financial market to be the bridge between the people who had excess money and the people who were in need of money to start up their own ventures.
And so basically our overall product is to meet the needs of Muslims. That's what we really wanted to focus on. We wanted to make it specific for the Muslims. So that's what our end product focuses on. And we thought, you know, it's the East, we're focusing on the East, and that really needs to, you know, be redeveloped after, you know, things it's had in the past. So what way to kind of invest in the community by helping the community? Thank you. Any questions?
In your presentation, you said that the selection of the business to be done by the bank. Was there any specific reason that you wanted the bank to make the selection of the business?
Maybe we didn't make it 100% clear. We thought that the bank would probably have the most experience and contacts with new businesses. So we thought they may initiate the project, but we definitely wanted the investor to have a huge part in deciding on it and working on that project with the bank and the business.
Our product doesn't, you know, rule out if an investor has a venture. Basically, the bank can kind of act like an agent. It's the contract, basically. So if a guy knows that, you know, there's a business, but maybe wants, you know, to be a bit more contracted, a bit more secure, then he can also bring that into the bank. It's not ruling that out.
And in your bank's analysis and getting into this business, you had one condition, or rather, you mentioned that the business needs to be monitored by the Sharia Supervisory Board. Now, I think, with my understanding, it requires Sampath Bank getting into the Sharia banking per se. It's a big process. Now, does this mean that you all want somebody from the Sharia Advisory Council of the Muslims to be on the bank board, or how do you...
I think that is quite important, because if you're going to be focusing on Muslims, you know, the Muslims want the security that you're doing it ethically. And if you've got that board, you know, it just makes it all a bit more trustworthy. But if you haven't, you know, they could be investing in things that aren't true. If you're not,
Well, actually, you answered my second question, because I wanted to know why you wanted to have it so big.
There's got to be investment somewhere, and you can't just go into a market that maybe you're not so experienced on. So you need something there to make your Muslim customers, you know, trust you, because as a bank, it's not in the Muslim community now.
We want to give the Muslim customers a feeling that we have invested a lot in you, in attracting you. So we care for you. So that's why we wanted to put in all that money to get the Sharia Supervisory Board in-house.
I have a question.
Yes.
Do you really feel that it could be profitable, like micromanaging each investor and each entrepreneur on that sort of single relationship basis? I mean, that's going to be a hell of a lot of work for the bank. Do you really think they can make profit with all that work going into it?
Well, with any business venture, there's a risk. So, yeah, there's going to be some businesses that maybe don't make us enough profit, but then there's going to be one or two that's going to make a huge amount of profit. And that's, you know, that's with every business. You can invest in all different things, and sometimes you get a bit back, sometimes you get a fortune back. And that's only with any business.
Do you not think it's a bit unnecessary, though, creating all that extra work for the bank, as opposed to with our project? It's more of a pooled effort, so it would massively reduce the labour, but still produce the same end result.
You're not focusing on Muslims, and you haven't got any trust with your Muslims. There's no way that, why would a Muslim invest with you when they can invest with someone else? We've
because
bought a
the Sampath
product
Bank is like known for being accepted widely by everyone.
The brief was to focus on Muslims. It wasn't to focus on everyone.
Well, we said that
relationship banking is a different kind of banking to focusing on everyone, and that's what our product's focusing on.
To interrupt both of you all, I think, you know, there were two different strategies. They were going more generalized approach, but you were much more focused on your strategy. So you may leave now, and we will deliberate the two strategies and come up with the final outcome.